Oh, God. Oh, we have one right here. The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm happy to see you here. I see you in our chat, and we have a special guest this week. We're going to let Ray do this because Ray is good at this kind of thing. Go ahead, Ray.
I'm okay.
Yes.
All right. First, before we introduce our guest, how are you doing, April?
I'm doing great.
You look wonderful.
Thank you. I'm shooting all week.
You're shooting. Why would you do that?
I'm shooting all week. I literally came from a shoot. We're doing the podcast. I'm going back to my shoot.
Bears? Oh, shooting pictures.
Shooting. Yep, we're shooting.
Oh,
yes.
okay. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
No, not bears.
All right. Well, you know, I got called a bear one time, but that's a story for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a little solace here as I silence the music. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us right now. Kick it. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes down from Mount Olympus to speak to you. Bow to the Greek God. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the founder of the New Force Order podcast. Yes, that's Star Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, he is 1/4 of one of the most dangerous podcast and video shows of all time, the Conspiracy Horseman. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has been a champion all over the world and back again, up to Mount Olympus and past and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, he is my good friend. He is your good friend. But above that, more than that, ladies and gentlemen, he is a Greek God. Ladies and gentlemen, bow, stand, lay down, whatever the hell you want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Greek God Papadon. Tell me you don't have Tell me you don't have a boner right now, bro.
I don't have a boner right now, bro.
Oh.
I have a boner. How come you don't introduce me like that? Fuck.
Well, I did it the first time, and then it was like,
I know.
Actually, that was money. So great work, Ray.
That was right. That was. It's not like you haven't earned it though. You do work your tuchus off.
So I was saying off the air, April, that I don't want to embarrass the man, but he looks very good.
I was saying the same thing. I met Papadon way back. I don't even know what locker room, but we were kind of like babies, I guess, at that point. And I was just saying, I'm like, you haven't aged. You just froze in place and look exactly the same.
You know, we had a guest on last week. She was an alien, a professional ET expert,
contact expert. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. And she was like, "Oh, well, he's handsome." So I'm gonna put that over. So what's good, man?
Just living the dream, brother. Woo.
Ooh. Defending that. Who'd you be for that belt behind you, brother? I love that.
This is the NFO belt, bro.
Can I see? Can we put it up?
Absolutely. Hold on, let me get
it. That thing looks heavy, April.
It does look heavy, and thanks, Big Wig.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It sure fucking is.
So this is let me get it out of the bag.
All right, that's also what she said.
I have 37 kids. I don't wear bags.
So look at this thing. Oh wow, that's beautiful.
I designed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got made. And
Jesus.
You get a look. You got
NFO. What does the NFO stand for?
New Force Order. It's the Star Wars.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So, and then we got all the stuff over here with the insignias from Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah, a little something. I gave it to Doc as a wedding gift.
So real quick, awesome. before we jump into anything, I really wanted to go over, just give us a brief synopsis, a brief breakdown of who you are, what you've done, some of the shows you've done, and we could put over some other stuff moving forward. I just want to have the audience kind of get to know the Greek God the way I know him, as a handsome stranger. Let's go.
All right. Well, let's see. Where do I start? How long of a show do we have? No, I'm kidding.
We got about 2 hours or less.
So, well, okay. Let's see. I am a skilled professional wrestler.
I like how you say that, skilled.
But most importantly, I am a worker. Not a wrestler. I'm a worker. And that's a dying breed. Mm-hmm. I am the alpha. I am the omega of pro wrestling. I am the governor of Real Town, never the citizen of Leg Slap City. Like some of these cosplaying wrestlers out there today. That's all they do.
Oh, that's nice. I like that one.
All right. I am a Star Wars aficionado alongside my partners in crime, the Spiro, and aka the Butcher, aka Darth Spirodon, and Alex Arroyo, aka Doc. I am a free thinker. I am someone who always questions the narrative. I am a founding member of the most dangerous podcast ever that we got blacklisted, we got shadow banned, we got thrown underneath the stairs with Harry Potter. The Conspiracy Horseman, myself, Big Stevie Cool, Stevie Richards, Big Sal Graziano, full-blooded Italian himself, and none other than the Sultan of Stiff Slaps, Bin Hamin. And what we do is we tell people what's really going on off the research that we did. We don't tell them what they believe is right or wrong. We allow them to make up their own analysis. We just bring facts to the table. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to steer you. We're going to enlighten many. We're going to steer them down the path of knowledge and truth, because at the end of the day, knowledge is power.
Amen. That's
I always say that you shouldn't come away from the news feeling stressed, upset, emotional. Like, pro wrestling is there to manipulate your emotions. The news is there to inform you. So if you come away feeling emotional, you have been manipulated. So you should be empowered when you get actual information. And that's how you know that you haven't gotten information, is if you start feeling upset, angry, sad, depressed. You've been manipulated.
Watching the news only leads you to two outcomes. You're either misinformed or uninformed. That's it. Yeah, it's all propaganda now, thanks to the Obama administration back in 2012, 2013.
Yeah, Operation Mockingbird, right?
Well, that was that system itself is what the CIA was doing. But the whole premise of banning propaganda here in the States, it was illegal to have any propaganda. That's why so many people still believe the news. But during the Obama administration, they passed a law to legalize propaganda. And this is facts, not conspiracy theory. You could check it yourself, right? And the fact is, the reasoning for legal propaganda was to combat foreign propaganda, which makes no sense.
Right.
A lie is a lie.
Fire with fire.
Yeah. A lie is a lie. Whether you lie domestically, internationally, grammatically, it doesn't matter. It's a lie. So that's where we're at today.
So really quickly,
I just wanted to say, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that before we jump into anything, I think we should acknowledge some of our friends that are
That's
here.
Exactly what I was going to say.
You see, this is why me and her get along.
That's right.
This is why but while we do that, I'm just I want Greek God to feel comfortable. So little
Mykonos.
A little Mykonos, a little Greek.
Imekala.
Yeah, from 2023.
So that's a little baby making music right there.
There you go.
Yeah, this is a little too porno right here. I'm not going.
I know. Hi, everybody joining us. I just want to say hello. It's not like you're not being acknowledged. We wanted to acknowledge you. Bigwig, Hitman, Allie, hello. We say cool, awesome dude. Winona, hi. Chuck, hi. Alex, AB Twitch. Who else is out there? Clinton, hi. Dark Side, how are you doing? Welcome back, Eva. I also saw Bison. I was wondering if you were going to come in tonight. How are you doing? So everybody's joining us. Yeah, Bice is here. So thanks for joining us tonight. Anybody here? Anybody coming in? Thank you for being here. And you know how this works. Add your 2 cents. Add your questions. Ask away. You're part of the show.
and the Greek god's favorite person in the chat, the dark side caster.
Yeah.
Seriously. All
So
right,
I
now
understand. Go ahead.
no,
Because I understand that you're really caught up and educated and well informed about the Federal Reserve.
Oh, yeah. It's the biggest scheme going today. It's a scam beyond scams.
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with that. I know it has nothing to do with the government and it's a private entity.
Yep.
But for people who don't know, who are watching live, who are going to watch the replay, could you fill us in on a little bit of the history of it and what you know about it and what's going on in the future and the digital money and what we could do to prepare for things, maybe? Because I know this is a little bit of your expertise, right? Am I throwing a lot at you at once there?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So it all started back in 1913. They had a secret meeting on Jekyll Island. These corporate banksters, the real crooks of crooks. These guys have like a PhD and a black belt third degree in being criminals. What they did is they met up and they decided to have a central bank. Now, prior to this, there was a central bank in the United States that got abolished because it wasn't working. And what happened was these people passed this bill in order to establish a central bank here in the United States. Now, the funny thing is, this kind of ties into the Titanic conspiracy, because the Titanic that went down, the ship Titanic, if it was the Titanic, some are saying it wasn't the Titanic, some are saying it was another ship painted to be the Titanic, but it was the Olympic, the original ship, I believe it was. Yep. So point being is there were three people on that ship that were opposing, three powerful people that were opposing central banks. And coincidentally, JP Morgan was also supposed to go on the ship. And last second, he said he got sick and didn't attend the ship, leaving the ship, the Titanic. And according to what people are saying, the next day he was fine, out and about on the streets doing his normal daily routine and businesses. But quote unquote, he was sick. These three people went down with the ship. They all died. So there's no one there to oppose the central bank. And the central bank was formed. And ever since then, this country's economy was an industrial economy going this way until 1913, 10 years later, 15 years later, boom, Great Depression. And ever since then, the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve, they make money off the United States being in debt. We gave them the right to print our currency. Basically, it's legal counterfeiting. If you and I printed any money, we go to jail. They do it. It's called quantitative easing, which is ridiculous. Because what happens is out there, if they keep throwing out money and they keep printing out funds, and these paper notes are called Federal Reserve notes. They're not even United States notes. If you look at your money, that's what it says. Once they distribute all this money that's printed out, your money loses buying power. So $1 isn't as strong as it was 10 years ago, which wasn't as strong as it was 20 years ago, and so on and so forth. As years go on, the purchasing power of a US dollar weakens. It's still 100.
Which is why the house that my grandparents bought for $30,000 sold in 2012 for $250,000. It was the same house. Nothing changed. But I don't know if it was so much inflation as it was deflation of the dollar. And that's one thing they don't talk about, is the deflation.
They don't talk about a lot of things. They teach us what they want us to know in school so we can be smart enough to work for somebody. They don't want us to be smart enough to make up our own minds.
Can I just jump in? It's funny that you say that, because my son, who's 15 years old, I ask him if they teach any finance classes in his high school, how to make your own money, how to control your own money, so on and so forth, how to grow your own money. They don't do that. They don't even teach small children how to count their money anymore. The
schools, as a matter of fact, the kids don't even know how to tell an analog clock. My friend was saying that he was talking to his granddaughter, and she's like, "What time are you going to pick me up?" And he said noon. And she wrote back, she's like, "When is that?" He said 12. So they don't even know that. So not that they're a bunch of stu-nods or anything, but I'm just saying they're not taught certain things, and this is a problem. So You know what I'm saying? It's like
Fucking Mama Luke's doing that.
yeah, I know.
What's going on
So
over
I mean,
here?
the school system was set up by the Prussian government, which is the German government, way back in the day, to break the entrepreneurial spirit of the immigrants, right? So because they needed factory workers and soldiers, so they needed people that were able to sit, stay, work, don't go anywhere, pay attention, do what we tell you. And immigrants who run businesses work around the clock. They do what needs to be done. They kind of have a hunter-gatherer mentality. If it needs to be done at 2 a.m, they'll do it at 2 a.m. That's not how the German system works. So the school systems, you take the generation of kids, which we're going to talk about that later in the show, what's going on too. You take the generation of kids and you control society that way from there on out. And that German school system of sit, stay, teach them just enough to get by and not get hit by a car maybe, and strip them of that entrepreneurial free thinking spirit has been in play ever since. We still use that system. And if anything, it's worse than ever, because at least when we went to school, we had like home ec, we had shop class.
Oh, they don't teach that anymore.
That's what were required. We had gym class. We had things that were required that gave us a little bit of, like I had microeconomics, macroeconomics. They don't do that at all anymore.
Of course.
So I don't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. Not because this kind of intertwines, because guess who initiated the current school system that we have? The structure, it was the Rockefellers.
Right.
Took it out of my mouth.
Also our medical system. They
Yep.
implemented our medical system and they took away all the natural healing stuff.
Absolutely. You can get healed by frequency, by plants, by eating real food, by mental stability, having your inner chakras all lined up, all that. It's all taboo.
They axe it. Mm-hmm.
You got to listen to what they tell you. They tell you it's a 95% efficiency rate for a disease that just happened, and now everyone has myocarditis and everyone is dying. Well, that's a discussion for later on. But point being,
that's climate change, though. That's climate change.
Yeah, it's getting hotter, dude. You know that.
It's getting hotter. That's what's causing these heart attacks and these sudden deaths with athletes. Even though we trained in 110 degrees with no air conditioning, and there were no heart attacks for any of us back then.
It's funny how they can't get their story straight, because if it's getting hotter, then why are they blocking out the sun with the chemtrails? Wouldn't that relinquish any heat waves or the heat from the sun? That was the whole purpose of them shooting the aluminum. And this is not a conspiracy theory. This was actually proven by Harvard professors.
Yeah, I know they are.
So I know you know, but maybe the listeners don't know.
Yeah.
But point being is that they can't get their story straight. They're like NASA, never a straight answer. But back to the Federal Reserve. So what they do is they print our money. And there's a problem, don't worry, we'll print more dollars. Oh, there's a problem, don't worry, we'll print more dollars. We'll loan it to the United States. Oh, they can't pay back that loan, don't worry, we'll give you another loan to pay this loan, and we'll just charge you different interest. And this has been going on for years upon years upon years. And all the money that we pay in taxes to the IRS, which is not part of the government, right? They collect that money to pay off the interest to these loans. And that's how the central bank makes a lot of scuttle. And that's why this country is forever in debt. Honestly, who do we owe money to? Other countries? No, but I'm saying other countries. Well, let's face facts here. Money's not real.
It's not.
It's a system of good faith. It's fiat currency that we have, especially in this country, because we used to have something called the gold and silver reserves. And that was backing our currency, gave us so much power. In the 70s, that Nixon took us off the gold standard and off the silver standard and gave away all our gold. They figured they can take our gold and lend it here, charge interest, try to make money on it. And the problem is now we're caught with our hand in the cookie jar, because what replaced that was the petrodollar. And the issue being now we're having all these countries, China, Russia, the Middle East, countries down in South America called BRICS, BRIC, whatever.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, and
South America, Saudi Arabia.
One of the BRICS, the BRICS dollar.
They want to be the governing power of the world and have their currency. Now this all is just a big scheme to get to one world government, one world currency, And here's the kicker. They want the currency to be digitized. They want the currency to not be paper money. They want to have this blockchain technology, which was introduced through cryptocurrency. Now, I said this on the Conspiracy Horseman years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The cryptocurrency, in my opinion, and this is just a theory, but it's kind of leaning to fact now. The conspiracy behind cryptocurrency was that it was a beta test, a soft opening by the central bank, by the Federal Reserve, to see what's going to happen and to work out all the kinks before they push their centralized digital currency. And that's what's happening right now. Because of this blockchain technology, what happens is they can track every penny you spend. You want to spend $2 on a soda, which you shouldn't because it's crap. You want to spend $3. You want to spend $3 on a smart water. You want to pay your friend $20 and reimburse them for, pay him back for lunch. They will have this all digitized on their ledger, which is digitized the blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the year, they're going to tax you on everything.
Oh, it's even worse. If you want to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, which you already paid tax on, they're gonna track that. If you want to have a side gig, whether anything, babysitting, pet sitting, anything on the side, doing a handyman service, whatever, they're gonna track that. If there's no cash.
Let's say
hold on. There's no more handyman services. That means Ray can't give hand jobs.
I can't give hand jobs. But Colin could still work the glory hole. Anywho,
yeah.
But even like guys like let's say Papadon or Ben Hameen, who goes on the road, charges people $5 to slap him. Mm-hmm. So now he's technically going to get taxed on every single slap.
Yeah.
I'm joking, but I'm not joking.
I know.
It's a scary fucking thing.
Yeah. I mean, what about vendors? A thing. And Lori says, "Hi, Laura. But why do so many businesses want only cash now, not cards? Neither debit or credit, and they charge a fee to use a credit card." I know that answer because I'm a vendor.
Local veggie stands.
Yeah. So first off, a lot of places have some sketchy internet, or they don't have great internet service. Secondly, they don't want to pay the taxes. They don't want to report that income. Third, they're contributing to keeping cash viable in the society. And quite honestly, one of the things that we can do right now is paying cash as much as humanly possible. Because if it is legal tender, nobody should be rejecting it. You're not allowed to not accept cash. A lot of places are like, we don't accept cash. Well, honestly, fuck you. You have to, because it's legal tender. So,
I just saw a video of a guy in England buying strawberries at a supermarket. I don't know if it was Tesco or one of these Amazon Fresh places that weren't taking cash. And he throws the pounds on the counter, whatever it was. And he goes, "Oi, I'm paying with legal tender. This is fucking legal tender. Peaky fucking blinders." And he fucking walks right out of the store. They're like, "Sir, you can't go." And he's like,
"Yes, you can."
Well, absolutely can.
Yeah, you absolutely can. And you do not let anybody tell you that you cannot pay with cash. I have seen, then it's funny, I've seen people do this where they will get together and do a big shop in a grocery store that won't take cash. They all go up at once. They block every lane and all they have is cash. And they stress the store out so much. And that's all they have is cash. And they force them to take it, or they will leave their cart full of shit right there. So you do it. You make them take the fucking money.
You guys remember back in the 90s, there was a rap group called Onyx?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was a line in this song, right? There's a verse.
Close enough.
There was a verse in there, a line in one of their verses that goes, but wait, it gets worse. And this is the bottom line right now, folks. Mm-hmm. Not because GGP said so, because it's a God honest truth. See what I did there? Point being is, if they, meaning the central banks, the IMF, the Federal Reserve here in the United States, have a digital currency, the CBDC, that's what they're calling it, central bank digital currency. Guess what? You bought too much steak this week. That's unhealthy to their standards. They're going to raise your insurance premiums. Oh, guess what? We were tracking your driving. You were driving too fast over the legal limit. You have to pay more in car insurance. Oh, guess what? We're quarantining everybody. You have to go get a vaccine. You have to go wear a mask. You're not doing it. Oh, your neighbor snitched that you're not doing it. Someone dropped dime on you. Someone, Jose Canseco or Henry Hilled you. guess what? We're freezing your bank accounts like we did the truckers in Canada when they were protesting. Now you can't eat. Now you can't sleep. Now you can't survive. You can't live.
The mark of the beast, buddy.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened 5-6 years ago with the social credit system in China. Now, it's not a social credit system, but this
control.
It's control. And
it's all control.
Exactly. That is what they want. But here's the kicker. And I say this all the time. There is so little of them compared to us.
That's what I keep saying. If we sit together and do this shit.
There's strength in numbers.
That's why they have a vested interest in keeping us divided.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Through politics, through religion,
race, gender, all of it.
Everything. Star Wars, Star Trek, everything.
Oh, hold on. Slow down there, right, Chief?
I like the shit, the color red. What, you hate blue?
Exactly.
It's like you can't, people have to they have to stop being reactive and step back and be responsive and stop falling for the fucking bullshit.
April, real quick.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Here's the deal.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Here's the deal, and this is why, the number one cause of most wars throughout the entirety of the world has always been religion. And this is why, in my opinion, politics have become, I think politics is possibly the third most powerful religion in the world right now, because it's all over the world. People all over the world. Go ahead.
We've had this discussion on the Horseman before. It's politics and science. They're intertwined.
And science. That's
because the science, the big pharma and science.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
They're lobbying with the politicians.
Yeah.
Okay.
The government is pharma, and pharma is the government. It's all the same now.
Same side, two different sides, same coin. But here's another one. The biggest threat to the United States, period, is the media, which is the fourth branch of the government. That's what it's become.
Yeah.
A handful of people own all the media corporations. They're the ones who are telling them what to put out. They all read the same scripts. They all do the same promo, very cookie cutter, and it's all the same fake news. It's all fake news. Whether it's right or left, it's all fake.
Well, let's go back for a second when you were talking about what you can and can't do. If we go to digital currency, you can't leave your kid a couple dollars every time the tooth fairy comes. You can't slide your niece, $20 or $50 or whatever, if they need a little money or a graduation card, birthday card, anything like that. Everything's going to have to be corporate gift cards, and of course that's the way they want all this to go. Yeah. And here's the other thing: if all of it is tracked, it's all going to be logged in, basically. So, and it's going to be logged into like your own shit. And I know I'm not being very specific, but
your own ledger, your own personal ledger.
Yeah, basically. So say I have high cholesterol, right? And we'll just use the pizza thing, like you said earlier. And I order a deep dish extra meat pizza. Mm-hmm. My credit thing, it could not go through because I'm not allowed to order that.
Right.
Even if I'm ordering it for somebody else or I'm ordering it for a party, I'm not allowed to do that because my cholesterol's too high. And if we go to like the socialized system in this credit system, I'm not allowed to order it because I'm not apparently healthy enough to allow for that.
And so and it'll be illegal. Check this out. It'll be illegal for a friend to order it for you. And then because the government is also monitoring all of social media, God forbid you put up a picture of you eating that pizza.
Oh God. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? How it works? It's all cyclical, I guess you would say.
Well,
to quote another rapper, bad boys move in silence. Take it from your highness. People out there are stupid. You do go on social media. You're about to get open heart surgery. You take a picture of yourself. Oh, send prayers. Going to go for a triple bypass. Don't know if I'm going to make it.
That's me.
Fuck off.
Oh.
Go get your surgery. Leave you. Stop it.
Oh.
Going out there fishing for compliments, being a fucking attention whore. Stop going on social media and telling everybody what you eat, what you do when you shit. Come on now.
What about the likes though?
That's what people do now, though. They need that validation because they didn't get it from their. I don't know what the fuck's happening with them.
Listen, you know what my validation is? My family. That's it. That's it. Keep your inner circle small and keep it tight, and nothing will ever happen to you. And that's the truth. Fuck all these people out there. They don't know what they want. If they did, they wouldn't be whoring themselves out on social media for likes and for retweets or whatever it's called now, since it's called X, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Reposts. It's ridiculous what we live in. It's like bizarre world. Up is down, left is right. It's ridiculous. And now all these people catering, like you showed a video I saw on the internet webs the other day, some girl had a chip in her hand. Oh my God, I paid for something with my hand.
The
You
what?
fucking dimwit.
She had her hand implanted with it was either a chip or they were using the scan technology of the thing.
Fingerprint.
And she went like this. She went across and she paid for her groceries with her hand.
She should go back in the kitchen and make us a sandwich and be quiet.
Christ,
Yeah,
you talking
pretty
about
much.
the fucking RFID chip thing?
Yeah,
She has
yeah.
that?
It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
God.
It's ridiculous what people think out there. It's utter nonsense. You know?
Because they buy into the whole, this is convenient. I don't have to carry anything with me. And it's like your convenience is going to take everybody down.
Yeah, convenience and fear are the tag team champions that will always job out your independence and freedom.
Yep.
Bison has a question. Don't you love my steak photos?
Wait, which ones? The blue vein steak that you send me all the time, you dirty little boy? or the medium rare steaks you put on internet?
Oh God, my Lord. So let me ask
pay
you,
with cash. Pay with cash.
I have a question. So eventually, Pop, do you think there's any possibility that moving forward, how can I ask this question?
Just ask it.
Okay. How soon, I'm talking about years wise, days wise, let's say years wise, do you think we are to that point where there will be no paper money?
2030.
Do you think that, do you think it's sooner than that? I see it moving because society moves so fast.
2027.
Wow. So you're taking 3 years off.
You know why? Because they're going to do a fake alien invasion.
We spoke about that last week.
That's what last week's show was about.
Listen, aliens are here.
Oh, they've been here. Look at you.
You know what I'm saying? They live with Among Us. MIB, Men in Black, is a documentary, in my opinion. Now, whether they're interdimensional beings, whether they come from outer space, whether they come from the bottom of the seas, inner Earth, whether they come from the continents that are allegedly around this ice wall that surrounds us, if you believe that, who knows?
It's the flat Earth theory for you folks out there.
I didn't know that was.
Oh yeah.
But or it's not flat. But point being is, they're here now. Whether or not they're gonna come here, who knows? But there's something called Project Bluebeam that they've been mastering. And if you don't believe it's true, you can see stuff at the museum where they have whales and big humpback whales and blue whales going in the air and all this. They had Tupac in Coachella. They had all this nonsense. Look, everything we see right now, technology-wise, the government had 20, 30, 40 years ago. They're done using it. They moved on to the next thing, and they're throwing us the scraps. And everyone's like, oh, an i14 phone, yay! Meanwhile, these guys have freaking holographic technology. These guys are talking to each other like Star Trek and like Star Wars. They have, you know what I'm saying? They can teleport themselves.
These are hand-me-downs. Our technology are hand-me-downs from 50 years ago. I've been saying that forever.
So a couple questions here. AB Twitch says real aliens from space are actually here. And Wade says fallen angels, meaning aliens are fallen angels.
That's another theory. We've had them on the Conspiracy Horseman. We had oh man, his fucking CT's kicking in. What's his name?
Ben Hameen.
No, you too, huh? You too.
Tim Alberino, who's part of Gen 6 Productions, and they did Giants, and they were talking about fallen angels. And you know what? There could be some levity to that. I personally believe that civilization, there've been many civilizations before us. I believe there's been 6, 7 civilizations before us. They hit a certain point. They couldn't pass the boss at the end of the boss at the end of the video game level. They took out the Nintendo cartridge. They blew it. They put the cartridge back in and restarted civilization. Whether it was a flood, whether it was the Ice Age, whether it was a meteor, whatever it was that destroyed that civilization in the past. There've been civilizations a lot more advanced than we are right now.
Yeah, I've heard that.
We have great, and I totally believe that. We have grown men walking around with Crocs. That's how stupid our civilization is right now.
Hey, that was on
very
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Yeah, that was Idiocracy was a documentary, by the way.
It is now, yeah.
I heard a theory from a close friend of mine that actually kind of made me positive and think. So you know how we've been told always, over and over again, the world is overpopulated, the world's overpopulated, the world's overpopulated, right? Well, his theory is that we need all these people because once we get to a certain point, because we're all connected, that we are all supposed to be here and we are all supposed to connect, and that they are panicking and trying to keep us from connecting and trying to keep us from ascending and trying to keep us from getting to that level. And that's why there's such a depopulation agenda, because they don't want us to get to that, 8 billion level where we stand strong and there's so many of us and we figure it out.
That, that's a very viable theory. I personally feel that there isn't a deep population issue here. I think there's a lack of resource issue because the cow farts are ruining the freaking world and we're slaughtering cows left and right. And we're destroying plants and chickens. And coincidentally, last year, X amount of food processing plants all over the world, especially here in the States, were destroyed. But yet we have this fucking moob having virus inflicting, get your shot now because there'll be a second pandemic, foretelling non-sex having, I pay for people on Epstein Island, Bill Gates fucker who is going all over the place spreading his fucking propaganda, talking about let's eat crickets and drink water out of poop. Meanwhile, the plane he flies and all these other people who are climate change are flying all over the place, emit more gas than any car. And the crazy thing is, buy electric cars. You buy electric car, the excavating vehicle used to get the minerals for the battery.
The lithium in the cobalt.
The one car, not 1,000 cars, one car, just to get the amount of lithium and cobalt for that one car. The emissions that the digger or the excavator or whatever it's called, bulldozer, whatever it is, used to in that mines, burns more carbon emission than 1,000 cars.
Yep.
That's for one lousy battery.
Not just that, they're also destroying entire ecosystems for that mining. They are destroying villages. They're using slave labor for it, and they cannot dispose of those batteries. We're fucked. And by the way, that's what's in our phone as well. And we don't have the minerals here in this country for that kind of thing. And if we did, we're not allowed to mine them. The majority of the minerals are in other countries, so that makes us and China, by the way, that makes us very dependent on other countries to go electric. So, and by the way, it's called critical mass theory.
Yes,
is that more people theory.
And on top of that, the kicker is, if we have too much CO2 in this world, why don't we just plant more trees? We'll make.
Thank you. I said that last week. Because no one's invested in trees. Like, they don't have a lot of financial stock in trees. They have financial stock.
They're also destroying the land to build more property, to build us on top of each other. They're making excuses. I have a question that I've been dying to ask Papadon regarding gold and silver. It's very difficult to get your hands on gold and silver. Why is that? And what is the importance of actually having or holding on to or obtaining the actual physical gold and silver? Is it even worth trying to obtain gold and silver now, when virtual currency, it seems to be inevitable that will be taking over?
Well, I would say yes, because gold and silver has been forms of currency and holds value for eons. I mean, hell, the Anunnaki allegedly made us.
Well, I was going to say,
it's cold, right?
Gold, doesn't it power the spaceships to fly into space?
What spaceships? Come on now, stop it.
Right.
So,
the flying saucers.
Listen, it could be. I don't know. I've never been in a flying saucer. But the point being is,
sure you haven't.
Gold and silver, K5, gold and silver, right? Gold and silver have always been tangible means of currency because they hold value. Almost like owning real estate, because it's bricks and mortar, right? Mm-hmm. But they don't want you owning nothing and you'll be happy, according to their 2030 agenda. But here's the deal. You used to have gold back in the day, and then the government made it illegal. You brought it back in. I forgot which Roosevelt president did that. Was it FDR or Theodore Roosevelt?
Theodore.
Okay. So it's always good to have gold and silver. Do I have gold and silver? No, not at all. And if I did, you wouldn't know. So point being is, it's advisable to invest in it if you can get it. If you have a whole bunch of gold jewelry you don't wear, melt it down, make a coin out of it or whatever, or, but the issue is this though. I mean, is it hard to get? Yeah, because there's only a certain amount. But the same thing with our money. Let's go back to money for a second. You take $100, okay? I know for some of you leg slappers, that's about 10 paydays. All right. So you go over there, you put it in a bank account. You may share it with your mom, your aunt, your sister, your brother. I don't know. But point being is, I'm talking to the leg slappers. You put $100 in the bank. It's not that physical $100 doesn't sit in the bank. What they do is it's called fractional banking. They leverage your money 100 to 1. So you're out of that $100, physically there's $1 in your account. Digitally there's 100. But if everybody went to the banks right now to try to take out all their money, they couldn't do it. There's not enough in circulation. They leverage everything 100 to 1. Now, that is illegal. How can I give Ray $1 and give you the same dollar and give Ben the same dollar and give Stevie the same dollar and Sal the same dollar and Spiro the same dollar and Doc the same dollar? How can I give that same dollar to everybody and it still be viable? It can't. But that's what they do. And that's why this system of lies that we call the banking system is starting to crack. There's a crack in the foundation. All these banks are now starting to be caught with their hands in the cookie jar. And that's why they want to go to the CBDC, because they realize, hey, we can control you guys, or we can. And this is exactly what's going on with Ukraine. You actually think Ukraine is an issue with Russia? I feel bad for anyone who died. I really do, because there is something going on war-wise, but it's not as severe as we make it out to be. All this is one giant accounting transaction. All the money that was funneled there, all the money and the controversy and all the rotten politicians that parked their money there or took money from the country as bribes, and now there's a paper trail. Guess what? We're going to send them a whole bunch of scarol over there. There's going to be some fugazi accounting going on. Bingo, bango, bongo, boom. The books are baked. Everything is in line. Everything's attuned for. Guess what? Our hands are washed. You guys can't trace anything to us. That's what's going on. And what you said before about doing sales online, guess what? You're going to get banged for a $600 sale on Venmo, but the government's failed its 5th or 6th audit in a row, and they can't attest to billions and trillions of dollars where they went. Before 9/11, $2.3 trillion go missing in the backup, and the evidence of that was in one of the buildings exactly where the plane hit. Come on, you can't write this shit. Come on, man, you can't write this shit.
I mean, you can, but
I honestly think that, and yeah, thank you. Thanks to everybody who's joining us late. I really appreciate it. And by the way, if you want to watch us, you can see us on twitch.tv, The A Show. You can find us on Rumble, user The A Show. You can find us on YouTube, and, stay in touch with us that way. I feel bad for people who don't want to admit what's happening right in front of us.
Well, everybody's doing that now.
And I honestly think that we have a real ego problem. Like, I really think this is an ego thing. Like, people have such a hard time with admitting that they have been fooled, or fucked over, or just, lied to. And that they themselves have turned around and parroted that information to their family on social media, like loud and proud, blah, whatever was spoon-fed to them. And now to try and walk that back and say, oh, shit, maybe that's not what I thought it was, or what's actually happening. It takes a really strong, really humble, really emotionally intelligent person to be able to do that. And they are out there, obviously all our viewers are. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of people out there who can do that, who can say, hey, you know what? Maybe it's not what it seems. Maybe there's some shit going on. Maybe we were deceived. Maybe we were lied to. There can't possibly there's many fucking coincidences.
Well, let me jump in real quick. Papadon, real quick. How many of us, and I'm going to ask you, Pop, maybe you can comment on this. How many of us have friends and family, okay, that we live in, you live in New York City. Pop, you live in New York City with me, right? And you have friends and family that swear beyond belief that everything is, it's always been this bad. People have always been getting stabbed in the face.
People have always been dropping dead suddenly.
Brother, I lived in New York for almost 50 fucking years. I lived through the 80s. I lived through the 90s. I lived through the early 2000s. It's never been that fucking bad. But yet I have my family and friends that are fucking, they refuse. They absolutely refuse to say, Ray, you know, all that shit you were saying about Biden and Obama and all this other bullshit might be the only person, I'll give her credit, you're not going to watch this, but I love you, Mom, is my mother.
And to anybody listening, just to be fair, Ray did actually vote for Biden.
And I voted for fucking Biden.
So therefore you are entitled. I feel like the people who voted for the president are far more entitled to critique the job he's doing.
I switched.
And I feel like those who are in denial about how things are going right now, I don't know what's happening.
Hold on.
I don't know what's happening.
Papadon's drinking his tea. He's sipping it. Go ahead.
Tea is coffee.
Oh, close enough.
I don't know what's happening.
It's my black coffee. I like my coffee like I like my men, strong and black.
Ooh. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening. It's like they shut their eyes, like la 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 la. I voted. La la la. Everything's good. I don't care if the world's on fire. La 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 la. It's like no, like this is like buying a video game console, and you get it home, and it plays like one game, and the rest it just kind of destroys all your shit. And do you not take it back and say, hey, this shit's fucked. It's not working. Or are you, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So I'm assuming that's how they would be. But if they vote for an administration and the administration's not working, they're going to defend themselves because that is now their identity. That's their label. Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter who it is. That is their religion. That is their label. They worship that side of the state. And it is pathetic. It needs to stop. That's how they keep us divided.
What do you think there, Pop?
This is what I think. And you might get a little upset about this. I don't know. But fact is, not you. I'm talking about New York has its ups and downs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a match, like a roller coaster match. You can't keep them up all the time, right? So the problem is every time it's down, it's because it's run by Democrats. And I'm a registered Democrat when I was younger, but then I smartened up because I don't play Republican or Democrats because it's two sides of the same coin. It's babyface heel. It's wrestling.
Exactly.
So
it is wrestling, right?
It is wrestling on a much higher pay scale, which a lot more rewards.
But they are working together. Yep.
Trump's part of it too. I don't want to hear it. And so here's the deal. Jimmy Carter, screwed up the country in the 70s.
Big time.
Reagan fixed the country.
No, he deregulated the airlines and the banks. He did not fix the country.
He made it better. Hold on. Right? Then Bill Clinton had a good economy. George Bush Sr., I don't remember as well. I mean, the guy was a scumbag, but the country was okay.
It was okay.
George Bush Jr. kind of messed up the country, but it's still better than what a lot of people think.
No way. He paid Patriot Act, everything else. He took.
I agree with you.
That started the descent into where we are now. That was the kickoff.
I agree with you, but I'd rather have him in office than have what we have now in office.
Oof.
That's what I'm trying to say.
God, it's shit and shit.
Okay, Obama did okay, but he still didn't do anything. He didn't help any race relations. He made it worse. Okay,
he did nothing. I'm sorry.
He was part of the club, dude. They're all part of the same club.
Of course,
we're not
related.
So the point I'm trying to make to you, it doesn't matter who's in office, because at the end of the day, they all get bought out, right? You remember remember all the rah-rah Trump was saying about Obama, and then when he sat and met Obama for the first time, and he was sitting in the Oval Office, and he was sitting there, and he looked like someone pissed in his fucking protein shake. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Point being is, they said, hey, guess what, sunshine? You were talking all that jazz, but here's the real deal. You try to act up, or you try to reverse anything we've been working on for the last 20, 30, 40 years, we'll kill each one of your families. We'll take you out behind the barn and put a bullet in the back of your head, and we'll call it a suicide. Whatever. I'm just making examples, allegedly, so we don't get sued. Point is this. Mm-hmm. The politicians are supposed to be working for us.
Mhm.
But they have indoctrinated everyone to think that we work for them and we need to listen to them.
Mhm.
All they do is
Mhm.
lie.
Oh.
Lie. The central banks steal all our money. We should not be paying taxes to the IRS. If we abolish the IRS and we abolish the Federal Reserve and bring back printing our own money to this country, a lot of things, a lot of things would course correct themselves.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that's the bottom line. So,
well, it's the old adage.
Not the kind of person to say I told her so, but you know what? I told her so. I told her so.
give me 1 second.
Go ahead, Pop. He's got, I think one of his Star Wars figures have fallen to the ground. So he's gonna
Princess Leia.
he's gonna fix it. All right, come on, everybody. Let's all make fun of Pop right now. He's off the camera.
So,
shit, he's back. Fuck.
No,
I heard you
what was I gonna say?
I know.
So you have to remember, back when I remember being young, Ray, and they started the something angels.
Oh, the Guardian Angels.
The Guardian Angels.
Yeah, I remember that.
For New York. So while I don't,
he ran for mayor. I actually believe it or not, I actually voted for the guy over this fucking prick.
I know, but what I'm saying is, because I know we have to move on to another story soon, but what I'm saying is, while I don't believe your family and I'm backing you 100%, I would also agree that New York does kind of go up and down sometimes, because they started that whole angel thing because there were problems on the subway.
My love, let me tell you something. You're my friend, Papadon. You're a New Yorker, and I agree with you guys 1,000%. That New York has its ups and downs.
But Philadelphia has never been as bad as it is now. So
listen, man, when I tell you, I travel in the MTA, I take the trains. You can't park anywhere in New York City, so I can't drive to fucking work. I literally cannot drive to work. And now they charge you if you go through Midtown Manhattan.
You don't know how to work, kid. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. But the fact of the matter is that my almost 50 years on this earth, and I would say maybe about 30.
Don't try and elevate your age to be cool. Give yourself more street cred.
Hold on, 35.
I know how it works.
Listen, sister, 35.
I'm 75.
Would you stop? 35 out of those years, I probably traveled myself on the MTA, and I personally have never seen so much crack smoked, so many fucking mentally challenged people, so much violence. I've seen violence. It was once in a while. Literally, I work after midnight. When I get on the train at midnight, thank God I'm a big dude that can probably take care of himself. You know, but if somebody pulls a gun on me, guess what? Exactly. What am I gonna do? Somebody takes a knife to my face and I'm not paying attention.
You haven't seen those videos where they go,
yeah.
And then, come on, please.
Yeah, okay.
You haven't seen Steven Seagal in Russia?
Okay.
Steven
Seagal
with his big old derpy belly. Come on.
He goes sit on a fucking egg, that dude, bro. Let me tell you something. I personally have seen this city fucking fall apart. It is a treat when I go down to Florida. It is a treat for me when I go to Savannah, Georgia. It is a treat because I don't have to walk down the street and have somebody sit and have not. When I went to Savannah, guys, last year, fucking strangers. Good morning.
Yeah. They talk to you here.
I'm looking at that.
I'm gonna I'll tell you, and I'll tell everybody else this too, just so you know. We now have the highest homeowners insurance. We have some of the highest property taxes. We have the highest car insurance.
That's New York's fault. I blame New York
in the country. So
you know
Florida is no longer affordable.
April, so, do you know why? Do you know why I blame New York and California and Chicago and all those stupid retarded states?
Bison, am I right? Democrats. Like, what the fuck?
The reason why I'm blaming them is because they made it so unlivable. Look at Chicago. Yeah. Look at that stupid idiot of a mayor. That kids are freaking basically rampaging the stores, stealing, mugging, raping, killing, pillaging their children. Let's not talk about them like they're a mob.
There's no such thing as a bad kid. There's just a bad owner. Oh, wait, that's dogs. Well, yeah, actually goes for kids too, I think.
And Papadon's sitting there like
no bad kids, just bad owners.
Papadon, you're sitting there like I used to rob old ladies when I was a kid. What's wrong with that, right? Oh, okay. No, but you feel me though, right? Am I wrong? Am I off here with this?
Saying that the job wages didn't raise to cover it here in Florida. And don't get me wrong, we got palm trees and beaches where the water is 110 degrees right now, and the people still smile at you and say hi, and you can suntan your butthole. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
April.
What?
You know what? Why don't we shake things up? Why don't we show them some
Big ass titties.
You know, we did
get some big ass titties.
Yeah, we
are you gonna show them?
Well,
Wow, Pop.
There you go.
There you go.
Boobies.
There you go.
And thank you everybody throwing some biddies for titties. We appreciate that.
That's for the biddies.
Throw some biddies, you get some titties there.
Knockers.
AB Twitch is saying that there are any affordable states to live in. I can vouch pretty high for Kentucky. Louisville was a nice place to live.
Texas
Louisville,
is pretty nice.
Oh, Texas is nice too. Yeah,
you get some nice.
You want affordable?
I thought Georgia was nice too.
I love Savannah. Go ahead, Pop.
Yeah.
If you want affordable living, be an illegal immigrant. You give everything.
Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, us hard-paying taxpayers over here.
Papadon, see, but this is what I'm saying. Like in New York, this mayor, this video of the guy.
No, we're not going to get you fired up. We're not going to get you fired up.
I'm just going to say this. Oh, we're a sanctuary city. We'll have them all come in here. We'll find a place. And my aunt is fighting with me on Facebook. Oh, how come they don't put them in the churches? How come? Shut up. Of course, we've been. The churches are full.
Yeah,
the hospitals are full. That's why all the mentally challenged are out in the train stabbing people in the asshole.
Didn't I read that they want to start paying people that have an extra bedroom or whatever to start putting the illegal immigrants in people's homes, right?
You're gonna move in illegal? Somebody you have no idea whether they raped somebody and came into this country.
No. Those villanos can go back to fucking Mexico.
No, but hold on. They give you $100 a day.
It's $100 a day of our taxpayer money.
Can I get some free French fries with my shot too? Get the fuck out of here.
No, you get donuts with that. You get donuts with that because it's for your health. It's for your health.
Come on, seriously. Let's face facts. I'm gonna put a stranger in my house with my wife and my kids. Get the fuck out of here. You out of your goddamn mind. You know what, Eric Adams? Put him in your goddamn house. Put him in City Hall.
That's what everyone's saying. You should put him in your house first.
I watched the video the other day, a little clip where some guy was in England. They were asking people, they were cheering for migrants. They won't even call them illegal immigrants. Rights for the migrants. And they go, hey, why don't they stay with you? Oh, I rent. Oh, you Fuck rent. You then. Then you can't talk. Just like you said before, you voted, whether you voted right or wrong, you have every opportunity to talk because you voted and you stated your case. You're going to go out there and you're going to say, give these people amnesty, let them stay in the country, but you won't shack them up because you rent? The fuck out of here. Go. Ridiculous. This is what we're living with.
Honestly, here's the problem is people who are American can't find places to live.
Right. We have our own homeless issue.
Listen, we have our own people that are struggling.
We don't take care of our own. We don't take care of our veterans, which is the most important thing that we should take care of.
Goddamn right.
We don't take care of the homeless. We don't take care of the mentally ill. You know what? What are we worried about? We're worried about someone else's fucking trash.
Well, I don't know if they're trash, but they're still human beings. But at the end of the day, we don't take care. That back. We don't take care. I mean,
somebody else's problems.
Someone else's problems.
Right.
You know what? We have our own problems to worry about. And there's a couple of analogies that I use, especially when it comes to the stupid libtards. Okay. And if you're a liberal, I'm sorry, but we're not supposed to be divided.
We're not supposed to be divisive.
We're not going to be divided. But I'm talking about the extremes, even on the right, the conservative extreme.
Oh, the MAGA fucking retards. We got them. Go ahead.
Okay. Problem is. You guys, I touched the nerve here.
They are both. You have MAGA retards and you have libtards.
This is the issue.
True.
It's like going into the store with your child. Your child wants the cookies. You tell them no cookies.
I love cookies.
They throw a fit in the middle of the aisle. I want my cookies. They're banging on the floor. They're screaming and yelling. They're throwing shit off the shelves. God forbid you raise a hand or yell at them. All of a sudden, whoosh! Everyone looks at you. Oh, what kind of parent is that? What's going on? And now you feel this big. Okay, put the cookie. Yeah. Now with the cell phone, put the cookies in the bag. In the cart. Let's go. That analogy sums up the American culture right now. Ooh. Because people right now don't want to work hard. They have a sense of entitlement, and they have no sense of accountability for their actions. They'll sit there till they're blue in the face, ranting and raving about some clickbait article headline they read or some bullet point that they heard on the news or on the internet. They won't do their facts, and they'll be marching in the parade. All these people that marched for Black Lives Matter, Where's the BLM stuff now? When you realize, all that money got robbed because the BLM were buying houses for themselves. They didn't give the money to the people that needed it.
Nice houses. At least they're nice houses.
What about all the kids in Chicago that are dying and getting shot every day?
Yes.
Their lives don't matter. And don't get me wrong, Black lives matter. I'm not saying they don't, but the movement itself was a farce.
Right.
Okay.
That's
mostly peaceful protests. My ass. All these people that lost their businesses and their livelihoods because of this bullshit. Later to find out all the money that was generated got spent on homes and strip clubs and lavish outings and plane tickets, and no one's being strung up on charges.
But but they are on January 6th.
Yeah, bullshit. Oh, guess what? We're gonna storm the Capitol. It's 5:00. I got a meatloaf in the oven. Peace out. See you later. I'm Swayze. You know what I mean? Come on.
Well, hold on. Meatloaf is delicious.
It is delicious. I'm not gonna.
I still think that I'm just gonna say inflammatory shit right now. I think it's weird how the powers that be have seemed to they've decided that even though they're white, that the white man is an enemy in this country.
April, I hate to break the news to you. The powers that be, we're the powers that be, but we don't realize that.
Well, I know. I'm saying that,
I know what you're saying.
Okay, the powers that be that actually have money, we're the broke ones. But yeah, you're right. Thank you. We are the powers.
The powers that be is the 1%. That the billionaires. That's the powers that be. That's
I agree with you.
It's not a black and white thing. It's not a Latino and Asian thing. It's a money thing.
Big Wig goes, well, the strip clubs aren't a necessity.
All right. Hold on.
Hold on a second. Here's a case in point. CBDC. How are you going to go to strip clubs?
Right. And then they got to pay taxes on there. Yep.
Here's another thing.
How are you going to go to a strip club and not get busted, you guys?
You want to be
how are you going to get a happy ending at your handy place? And not
hey.
There we go. That's going to be the bullet point,
right?
Run this campaign.
And ladies, how are you going to sneak into the salon and get that extra manicure and things like that without your husband knowing? This is a good reason to fight for this shit.
And even if you want to be a shady indie promoter, how are you going to go up to the kid, to the boys, and be like, "House was light. Here's your envelope." When it's CBDC, can't do it,
brother.
Yeah,
can't do it, brother. I'll get you next time.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here. Nah, I ain't gonna happen.
Everybody,
yeah. All right, listen.
So yeah, I was walking down the frozen food aisle not too long ago. Sorry, everyone.
Did you melt everything? Because you're just so hot.
Thank you. But there's a lady, a Caribbean lady down there, and she kid was
Miss Cleo. Was it Miss Cleo?
No, it was not Miss Cleo. She was like a tall Jamaican lady, and she had her little boy who was freaking out and having a temper tantrum, and she pulled his pants down, and was whooping his ass, just his ass, like we got when we were young, right? And she froze when she saw me, and I saw her. I backed up.
You held his arms.
I know. She froze like I was going to do something. I saw her. I backed up. I go, and I just backed my card out and let her be.
When I go shopping,
you got this. You got this.
When I go shopping with my 37 kids, and
it's a lot of kids.
Yeah, well, you know,
you're
do what you gotta do.
You're a god.
Point being is, I'm like France. I don't pull out.
Jesus.
So,
are you fucking shitting me?
I had to look for that one. Thank you. I can't even pull out of a driveway. Thank you. Point. That's my brother told me that joke. That was hilarious. All right, so I'm gonna be serious like a late period right now. So,
motherfucker.
Thank you. I used it.
Yes.
So, what was I gonna say? I take my 37 kids shopping. They start act up. I yell at them right in the. I said, "You want me to smack the shit out of you right now? You want me to spank your tushy in front of everybody? Dad, stop! You're embarrassing me. I'm embarrassing you. I go into heel mode. You're embarrassing me. I didn't raise you like this. Your mom didn't raise you like this. What's your problem? Okay, Dad, let's go." Right. And they put their head down, all 37 of them, and they fucking walk out the store.
Do you yell at them and like get tables and ladders and shit?
I yell at them in English, in Greek, in Spanish, even though I'm not Spanish. Dude, I'm telling you,
make crabon.
I love being a dad. That's the greatest thing in the world.
Mira.
Yeah.
It is the most hardest thing I've ever done.
An underappreciated thing.
And definitely most underappreciated. Dads are like moms, except we're cooler. Okay, that's the bottom line. And
speak for yourself. I'm terrible.
And we, like you said, we're underappreciated. Mom gets all the credit. We have to carry the workload on our shoulders because we're the man in the house. And yes, it sounds sexist, but it's the truth. Okay, in my household, I'm the man of the house. It is my duty to provide for my family. It's not because I'm a man. That's what the man is supposed to.
What do you get for Father's Day? Like a fucking tie?
I got a couple keychains, and that's it. And maybe a card or two.
So you don't lose your keys.
Yeah, you know, but it's okay. I don't.
What does
care.
your wife get? What does your wife get? Like diamonds and shit, and a brand new fucking massage chair.
No.
Oh.
She's not into jewelry.
Okay.
I get her whatever she wants. You know, happy wife, happy life.
Another kid, 38.
No more kids. Woo! I got snips, son. I hedge my bets.
There's no more room up there in Mount Olympus, if you know what I'm saying.
That's it. I'm gonna start my own sweatshop. Give Nike a fucking run for their money.
There was an inflammatory post that Grant Cardone put up the other day on Twitter, and it was very entertaining. It's like one of those things you pull out the popcorn and you eat, and it was, what are today's females lacking?
Oh God, I'm afraid.
Man, you should have seen the answers. They were everything from virginity and chastity to I'm sure somebody wrote that. I didn't go far down because it was like 4,000 answers, but you know, virginity, chastity, subservience, and then it was like life skills, being able to cook. But the number one answer though was femininity. I mean, over and over and over again, femininity. Of course, my response was, today's females are lacking masculine dating options that are gainfully employed, nice looking, fit, emotionally stable,
right,
and intelligent.
Listen, but I say this all the time about the snowflakes of this generation and everything that came after the Generation X, which is the last generation that we were in. They're all a bunch of snowflakes. All the men are beta bitches. They're all too scared about their lattes and their skinny jeans ripping and people stepping on their Jordans and their Kanye sneakers, whatever they're called.
And this is why we, as Gen Xers or millennials or whatever, Xennials or whatever, have to stay good looking, because we have to provide the example to show them that you have to provide the example that you can be strong and sexy and smart.
Stepping on their emotions. I love this, Eva.
Yes. Stepping on their emotions. We have to provide the example that you can be smart and good looking and sew a button and cook and raise kids and do it all, because it can happen. And you know how to tell time on an analog clock.
Here's another one. You can write a letter and know how to mail it. Or even better yet, you can write cursive.
Yeah.
Oh, I can write cursive.
Or drive stick shift.
I can't drive stick.
I can drive stick.
Never learned.
I had to learn on it.
But point being is life skills and common sense. But here's another thing. Not only females, but males as well. And there are only two genders. You don't like it? Suck it. I don't care.
Well, a neutered dog is still a male.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was born with the genitalia. He was born with the chromosomes.
You could put a Trans Am engine into a Ferrari. It's still a Ferrari because it was made as a Ferrari. But point being is, okay, what I was gonna say is the one thing that's missing for both male and females is class. No one has class anymore. Everybody, you hold a door open for somebody, you look down upon as being a masculine, toxic masculinity. No, it's called having class, doing what's right. You see an old lady, she needs help, you help an old lady.
Yes.
Even if you're a heel. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Old ladies, she's just age challenged.
Yeah.
Can we move on?
Yes, we can. And Colin says he knows that you know how to drive stick, right?
Yeah, I learned from him. I learned by watching him.
Ray also knows how to ride stick too, but that's another story for another time.
That's you gotta keep certain
nothing
things
wrong with that.
Wait,
diversify your portfolio, Ray. Anyway,
I had a conversation with my neighbor the other day, and he just was like, I don't know, he's one of those blah people, just says things.
Does he always stare at your chest? Son of a bitch.
No. It's not that type of a neighbor. Anyway, so he was saying that people sometimes are addicted to the sun. And he said, because it may, he's like, of course they're addicted to the sun. It makes them horny. And I was like, what?
Let's talk about it.
Right. So I was, my friend and I that were standing there, we're both sitting there like, I said to him, like, you were with us? And he's like, no. I'm like, did you, like, what? He's like, yeah, the sun makes you horny.
Mm-hmm.
So then I asked somebody else, I'm like, does the sun make you horny? He's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? So
best sex is in the morning. You ever notice that?
Yeah, but this is different. Oh. So this is laying out in the sun allegedly makes people horny. You guys in our chat, what is your opinion? This is not just guys and ladies. Do you feel that the sun makes you horny?
So you know what makes me horny?
Your wife.
Bison in the sun.
A bison in the sun?
Yeah, so I argued with him. I'm like, it's just like girls in bikinis making you horny. He's like, no, it's the sun, man. So I looked it up. Guess what? I'm wrong. He's right. So the sun creates those feel-good chemicals like the serotonin and the dopamine if you're out there for 15 or 20 minutes, which are the same feel-good chemicals that are arousing chemicals.
So time out. What about
it can raise your sex drive and make you horny?
Are we going into the butt
hold on. Before we go into the butt suntan things, there's two things I want to say. Three things actually. One, bison was a joke because of the listener, Vinny Bison. Okay, a friend of mine from the doghouse.
We used to say about tube steak earlier, but I let that one go.
Why? I infringed on your gimmick? I'm sorry.
No, he's the one that sends you pictures of tube steak.
Yes. Second thing is this. You know what else is good for you? Grounding. I don't know if you guys know what grounding is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ray,
that's when your girlfriend gets on top of you and you both wearing clothes. No. What?
That's grinding you.
Oh.
Okay. So grounding, grounding, is when you take your shoes off and you walk through earth, whether it's grass, dirt.
You're on the ground. You touch the ground with your feet.
Exactly. Because of the electric pulses in that's in the earth, it goes through your system as well. It's almost like connecting a car battery with jumper cables, and it helps you much better. So same thing with the sun. Sun gives you a lot of vitamin D and all that stuff. And the third thing I wanted to say before we touch some of these sayings that the fans are saying, what did the lady say to Michael Jackson at the beach?
Jesus, here we go.
Excuse me, can you get out of my sun?
Thank
you. Toronto waitress, tip the veal.
So I heard grounding actually is because we're electrical beings and we have too much electrical buildup. And if you go outside and you walk barefoot outside, you can discharge the electricity into the ground.
Even leaning on a tree works too.
Yeah. Yep. So. And Winona was saying, coincidentally, scary movies release the same chemicals as arousal as well. Seriously, really?
So does chocolate.
Yeah. You tell me you never see a Jason movie and just want to ram your wife? Well, a boyfriend?
My wife?
Well, yeah.
If I had a wife, I'd get a lot more shit done around here. Fuck.
No, ain't no kidding. Speaking of fucking, so you were talking about some sun tanning your asshole?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this real short because I know you want to talk about Neo, right?
Well, I want to talk about the pedo thing. We can leave Neo for last.
So apparently, I'm looking up the sun thing, and it leads me to another thing.
What are we looking at over here? Moving back right, the perfect butthole sun. Everything you need to know about what is it?
Perineum.
Perineum. I can't read that. Perineum sunning.
Perineum sunning. So apparently, it's a trendy practice, probably in California, that involves exposing your taint to sunlight.
Your butthole.
It has no proven benefits and lots of potential health risks. Perineum sunning. So you can do it spread eagle. Now, what are you supposed to do? Just like flip upside down and do downward dog or something?
Well, the Greeks invented that, from what I understand, right? Right, Papadon?
We invented a lot of things, bro.
So wait, so you know how like you can use THC or CBD around the vulva, and you're not smoking pot, it still is absorbed because of all the vulva is directly, an absorber right there. I guess the perineum as well. So it's which incidentally, it is the small area between the genitals and the anus. It's your taint. Yep. Taint your this and it taint your asshole. So it's home to lots of nerves and blood vessels that connect to the peen or the vagine. Perineum sunning, aka anal sunning, is when you expose this area to direct sunlight. So why are people doing it? Because people are looking for a quick fix and a natural way to do things. And it's supposedly, the claim is, it'll boost your mood, regulate sleep, increase libido, spark creativity, attract success and positivity, enhance longevity and stamina, and this is my favorite, cleanse the genitals of bad energy or germs.
So, Papadon, you've been around a lot of assholes.
Like, sage that shit. Sage it.
You've been around a lot of assholes in the locker room.
Sage that last guy out of there.
I think that's gonna be the name of my new.
Sage that energy. Let's not talk about him. So
that's gonna be the name of my new finishing maneuver, the butthole sun.
The butthole sun.
The perineum sunning.
Dude, I was thinking about that too, right?
Were you?
So I'm just wondering, like, can you just imagine getting sunburned and blistered down there.
No thanks.
And then peeling.
Nope.
Well, it depends on the toilet paper you use too. It happens. What?
Right? So, yeah. So I just thought I would share that with you guys since, we're all about giving information and teaching you things that, And Fred goes, why? That part of the body was never sees the light. Burn, baby, burn. Right? Fuck yeah. That's like, right. Hello. But apparently somebody decided that we're supposed to flip upside down and get somewhere it's not supposed to shine.
I will say it's quite the shocker.
Pop.
Let's share this.
Oh my
story.
God. Colin goes, your taint is meant to rip like Velcro during childbirth.
It's yeah, man. I remember real quick, Pop. Do you remember you were at all 37 of your children's births, right?
Yes, I was.
And did you peek in?
I watched it on closed circuit television like WrestleMania 2, brother. I was there.
So did I. It was it's fucking.
You were there? I didn't see you.
I was right behind you, brother.
Of course you were.
I was rubbing your
Dirty
shoulders.
dog.
Right. Anywho. All right, let's get into this story real quick, guys. We got about 15-20 minutes to go for the show. And I'm going to share the screen here of the actual tweets. This was we're going to Bill Keller's tweet. I'm going to read this out loud really quickly, guys, and you give me your opinion and thoughts on this. It says the California legislature, has just reduced the penalties for adults who engage in oral sex with willing children. Oh my God. What child is a willing participant in oral and or anal sex? And it continues. For years, I've been warning people about that pedophilia was in the process of being decriminalized. Once they cross that hurdle, adult/child sex will be normalized and mainstreamed into our culture, just like homosexuality has been. I'm not going to I don't agree with everything here, but lastly, it says actions like the California legislator have taken is just the beginning of societal acceptance of pedophilia. All right, so he continues with this whole spiel about God, but this is a fact. Apparently, what they're doing is, if a child goes to their parent, I believe, and consents to wanting to have anal.
No, a child is technically defined as anyone under 18.
This is
according to this law, if someone's 21, they sleep with an 11-year-old, they can't get in trouble.
Right,
crazy.
But also, let's look at the flip side of that for just a second. There are a lot of people who have been labeled as sex offenders who are 18, 19, 21-year-olds who have 17-year-old girlfriends because the father has been pissed off.
Yeah, I get that. But you know what? I unfortunately
I'm not defending it. I'm just pointing.
No, I know you're not defending it. There should be a tiered system.
Exactly.
Explain.
But okay, if that situation where an 18-year-old
16, 17 is a little bit different than 11 and 12.
Yes.
So
or a 40-year-old guy tries to sleep with a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like a 10-year-old or an 11 or 14-year-old. Yeah. They're in a different ballpark than a person who is an 18-year-old, their girlfriend's 17-year-old, or he's 17-year-old, your girlfriend's 16-year-old, and they're both underage.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So fact of the matter is,
it's too generalized.
It's too generalized, too vague. We have apples and oranges in the basket, but we're just calling it fruit. No offense, Ray.
Well, but, none taken.
But what I'm trying to say is this law is disgusting.
Yeah.
It is revolting. The fact that this even came into existence, and the fact now they want to label all these pedos as minor attracted personnel.
I was just about
minor attracted people. Look,
that's gross. They're trying to make it acceptable language.
They're moving the goalpost back. Okay, first it started with homosexuality, then it was transgenders. Right now it's this. Next will be bestiality. I don't agree with it. No. Hold on. What I'm saying is what was taboo is normalized. I'm not saying that you could put people who are homosexual with it. No. Look,
I'm just saying. I think homosexuals, gay. I think they should have all those same rights that we have.
I agree. Who am I to tell you how to be happy?
Right.
Okay, as long as you're not.
And before all this trans agenda, when you were trans, you just kept that shit to yourself. And if you wanted to be male or female, you were male or female, and you just did it, and you changed your life. and nobody needed to know about it. And we didn't need to have a big fucking parade about it. You just did it, and everybody was. You just moved on.
Papadon, when you transitioned, how did you deal with that?
I said Autobots roll out, and we all went.
And it went.
So, but in actuality, look, you can't compare people who are homosexuals to people who are hurting children.
Nope.
That's disgusting, and it's apples to oranges. I'm all for people who are gay. I don't care that you like the same sex. That doesn't bother me.
Like
but let's
right.
put it this way. But look at the people who grew up in the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was totally taboo, totally out of, you know what I'm saying? So
it was taboo in the 80s.
It was, but it wasn't as taboo, unbelievable. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't part of the culture mainframe like it is now, and that's fine. But here's the deal. My opinion is your sexuality shouldn't define who you are. If you're a good person,
exactly,
that's all that matters. Now, here's the kicker. As far as trans people go, you're an adult and you want to transition, cool. You want to chop your pee off, man? Go ahead, chop your pee off, man. You want to flip your outside, turn it out, go from an innie to an outie? Go ahead.
Sure.
Whatever. That's your prerogative.
Right.
But don't indoctrinate the children and force the children. Children 1 week want to be an astronaut, next week want to be a dinosaur. Next week they think they're a girl because they want to play with girl clothes or girl toys. Doesn't make them a girl. Let them experience life. And if they still feel that they're in the wrong body after they're 18, 21, whatever the case may be, they can make up their own decision because they have the right to vote. They can drink. They can join the military and die for this country.
100%.
Then they can do what they want. But don't put them on puberty blockers when they're little children because you know it's the cool thing to do as a parent, or you think you're being progressive, or you think you're listening to your children and you don't want to hurt their feelings. Let them experience life first, because that stuff is not something they can go back on. And it's shown the whole argument was the suicide rate, but the suicide rate hasn't changed even after people who transition. It's
actually higher.
After just like climate change, right? When they were saying it was global warming, and then they took the temperature of the planet and it went down, and they rebranded as climate change because global warming didn't work. So,
Eva points out it was taboo in the 30s and 40s to have a two-piece bathing suit on women. Fred says I can't agree more, and Fred actually has a trans child who's an adult now, but this all happened a while ago. And I would agree with you on the children thing, and I think like if I grew up now today and my parents were the way some parents are, they probably would try and turn me into a boy, because I was very tomboyish. I was very athletic. I did boy things. I like to play with Hot Wheels and Star Wars figures and things like that. And if they had fallen for the bullshit that was there today, they probably would have done that. And I would kind of hate them forever for that, because I don't know. I liked playing with boy toys and being athletic, and I ended up being a pro wrestler, but it didn't make me any less of a female. I just enjoyed doing things that were out of the ordinary. So, I think kids do that. No, I'm just saying, I just think kids do that. Sometimes boys play with Barbies. Sometimes girls play with Tonka trucks. It just is.
And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Absolutely not.
It's like this. I believe that a lot of kids nowadays, they're not allowed to be, innocent anymore. They're used as pawns. Like, not for nothing. Like, look at Colin, and I'm being serious here. He says, my son calls everyone a her. He's innocent. He's a child.
Is he 3 years old? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a toddler. And the fact that, maybe he's so he's confused because, what Colin does is Colin is always wearing his wife's underwear in the house and bras and stuff like that. And he dances saying, I am pretty. I'm so pretty. So, of course, the son's going to be a little confused, but he's innocent. It's not his fault that Colin
does he tuck it and collect butterflies?
No, does
he say it puts the lotion in the basket, or it gets the hose again?
That's what I hear. This is just what I know about Colin. So neither here nor there. Anywho, we have another story coming out of New York City. I'm going to play this quick little clip here, and you guys talk. We'll talk about what the hell's going on here with social media and the power of influencers. You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. And this is another example of how New York is fucking becoming. Anyway, so, let me just press play here. Papadon?
This is a media story more than a New York story, I think.
Here we go.
A video game influencer is accused of causing a riot in New York's Union Square after he promoted a PlayStation 5 console giveaway and now is facing criminal charges.
ABC's Trevor Alt has the latest on those injured and what's known as a social media influencer.
This morning, the streaming star whose announced giveaway turned into pandemonium on the streets of New York City has now been charged with a felony. Authorities arresting more than 60 people in the...
Say again, April?
I thought it was a different story you were going to talk about.
No, it's this one. We're going to end with Neo.
Incident, saying several others, including some officers, were injured.
I'm scared I'm gonna get hit by something. I can't turn my back.
The crowd had gathered to see massively popular influencer Kai Cenat, who last week announced plans for a meet and greet Friday in Manhattan's Union Square, where he said he'd be giving away merchandise worth thousands of dollars.
We're doing PS5s, PCs, keyboards, mouse pads. How much?
All right, I'm going to stop it there because there's no need to go on. So the people that don't know what happened, basically, like they said, the social media influencer. This young guy, 21 years old, if I'm correct, has 20 million followers on social media. 20 million followers. Now, my question, I'm going to go to Pop actually real quick. Pop, do you think a 20-year-old in this day and age should have that much influence on that many people, number one? And number two, what are the parents' roles in this situation?
Well, the parents, it depends. In certain, what are you showing?
Oh shit. It says
you didn't see that one last week?
No, stunt influencer Remy Lucidi dead at 30 after falling from skyscraper. What happened there?
Someone threw his ass off the skyscraper.
Dumbass. Go ahead, Pop.
Do you think he slapped his leg when he hit the ground?
He might have.
Probably did.
That was his last picture taken before he fell.
What a dick. God.
So he, he was a French acrobat, and he did adventure sports, and he used to do some crazy shit, like base jumping. And according to the New York Post, 30-year-old Remy was climbing the Trigunter Tower complex when the man fell from the 68th floor and died instantly. This was in Hong Kong. He arrived to the building around 6 p.m., told the security guard that he was visiting a friend who lived on the top floor, and he was supposed to be jumping and fell on camera.
So again, Pop, social media influencers, young men and women leading other young men and women to do. Is it his fault that this happened?
Validation from outside sources.
So here's the deal. This is a valid argument that could be very plausible in a courtroom, because on one notion, it's almost a yelling fire in a crowded building because you're inciting something, right? There's freedom of speech. Obviously, he can say whatever he wants. But here's another factor. Is it his fault, or is it the society that people are indoctrinated into the system about going online and believing everything they see because everyone's sheep? So it's a catch-22 here. It's half empty, half full scenario. Okay, you can argue both points here, but the fact is, you can't. If he's an influencer and he knows he has the power that he has, by just generating to his viewers, followers, whatever support, then his fan base. The problem is, you can't say I'm going to give away 500 PlayStation 5s and you show up with 5 PlayStation 5s, because then you're causing trouble, right? Then you're premeditating something that may happen or may not happen. And unfortunately, in the reality we live in today, they know these people know that they can cause all this havoc and not get in trouble, especially in this shit state, New York, right? Can you say that again? Can you say that again? People can what? They can control. They can cause havoc, and know they can cause havoc and not get in trouble, especially in this shit state of New York, because that's the fact.
Or Chicago, LA,
any Democratic-run city.
It's a fact.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. And it's no coincidence that every blue state has deteriorated, and it's not even a blue thing or a red thing. It's just a fact, because at the end of the day, these leaders, quote unquote leaders, mayors, governors, senators, elected officials, they just placate the people. and they sit there and they just do what they want to do for their own benefit.
There's a question real quick. It says, but how is this? Fred Time asks, how is this different at Walmart pulling this at Christmas?
It's not different. It's called bait and switch. It's illegal.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do it. But the problem is you got to prove it. Now, this guy, I mean, obviously he should have known better. Now, but at the same time, him going there with X amount of PlayStations and telling people he has Y amount of PlayStations, that's wrong. But these people acting crazy, inciting riots over fucking video game console.
People died.
Yeah, it's a shame.
People got hurt. And Pop, real quick, I'm sorry, I have to get this out. You know, and there's certain responsibilities you have when you have that many people, and you know that it's going to go viral as soon as you tweet it out. You call the cops, you set something up, you get a city permit. There's certain channels that you have to do so that the cops are prepared for this. Barricades are up, things are structured. None of this happened. The kid jumped out of the car, ran to the middle of goddamn Union Square, and then pendulum popped off. Go ahead.
John Westcott says the riot was the point, more exposure. I think he's accurate because
it's clout.
Nobody knew. I mean, I never heard of this guy before, and now we're talking about him on our show.
Well, the problem is this, like I said before, lack of accountability, lack of class, lack of common sense.
Lack of empathy too. I think having a lack of empathy is a problem with a lot of things.
Well, look what's going on in our world today. They want to deconstruct the family unit. They want to deconstruct God, whether it's, you know, you're a God or Allah or Scuba Steve or whatever you want to call the individual. Thank you. Whatever you want to call the individual or entity that you
flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah, the flying spaghetti monster.
He's over.
Point being is they want to deconstruct everything that gives people ethics, morals, and they want people just to be blah, vanilla. No empathy, no feelings whatsoever, no gender. Everything's on the same level because at the end of the day, they want that they're more easier to control when everything's dumbed down.
Yeah,
this is the situation.
The NPCs.
Yeah, exactly. They want a world of NPCs and a handful of people running the NPCs. You think these people on top of this pyramid scheme that we call life are not smoking cigars, are not eating red meat, are not living the lavish life while they're telling us not to because it's going to cause climate change or it's going to cause. I mean, this is all bullshit. It's all one giant game.
It's what do you guys say? Malaka.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our final story. That's why I really like what happened with Neo.
Oh yeah, let's so I'm gonna actually post this right here. I'm gonna post the actual tweet. Now this was the original tweet. Now Neo had gone on a show prior to this. It was like a YouTube show or whatever, and he was expressing how he felt about the whole transgenderism, the LGBTQ community, so on and so forth.
As far as kids,
right? As far as kids.
This is what to specify here. As far as indoctrinating young children and it being in schools and being pushed as curriculum and how crazy it's gotten in Canada and California and things like that.
So now people praised him for that, right? And some people can't try to cancel him. Now, this tweet came out after this. It says, this is from Neo's official Twitter gimmick. It says, I like to express my deepest apologies. And I'll read this really quickly. It says, after much reflection, I like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity in the LGBT plus community. So I understand how my comments could have been interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Gender identity is a nuance and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach the future conversations with more empathy. At the end of the day, I lead with love. I lead with love and support everyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness. Now, April, here is the fucking thing. He did not write this tweet.
Right.
It was his publicist.
Right.
So now he comes out, and I'll share this with you guys, and Neo is pissed, April. And he says this. This is Neo himself.
What's going on, loved ones? This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out.
Stiff.
First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question, okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQ plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless. So with that being said, y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours. Speak your opinion as much as you damn well feel like it. Because as I said, they're not important, they're not special. Everybody got one, and you're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine. All right? Y'all feel how y'all want to feel. Have a great day. It's Neo. Peace and love.
Man.
100%. And that's what I keep saying. Do not apologize for your opinion. Do not. It's just going to piss people off. You're going to look weak. They just want you to bend the fucking knee. And you're just going to lose the other half if you apologize. You double down on whatever it is and you back up however you feel.
And AB Twitch, when you heard that he took his apology back, that was the tweet that was put out by his publicist.
Yeah, he didn't take it back. He just didn't apologize.
What do you think there, Pop, before we shut this down for the day?
Kudos and my hat, if I was wearing one, off to Neo for sticking to his guns, because real recognizes real, and that was real talk.
That was real. And it was done very well.
Yeah. And he's right. We don't need to agree. But because we don't agree doesn't mean we can't get along. And on top of that, he's entitled to his own opinion. Just because, and this is the problem with this quote unquote progressive liberal cancel culture, right?
Not progressive.
It's not progressive. It's the well, they label themselves as progressive because they think in their own headspace.
No.
Okay, point I'm trying to say is that if I don't agree with you, I'm the enemy. No, it doesn't work like that. Only Sith deals in absolutes.
Okay.
And
here we go.
Thank you. Point being is, I like grilled chicken, right?
You must hate steak.
I like fried chicken.
You like fried chicken. April likes fish. Guess what? We're mortal enemies. We're gonna fight in a 3-way dance. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. You're entitled to make we're entitled. Look, the whole premise of having freedom of speech and living in a free country is being the ability to be civil and have disagreements and have intellectual conversations with one another. Not stomp your feet and cry like a fucking snowflake brat baby. No, my feelings. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. They're words. You give power to words, then you're an idiot. That's it. They could be powerful, but it's only if you let it. Now, if Neo feels a certain way, guess what? We all felt a certain way. We explained our opinions tonight about the whole matter. And if we're going to be crucified for it, then crucify me. But point is, you're not going to change my mind. Just like I'm not going to change your mind, and I'm not going to vilify you for thinking different. That's the point of life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was I think that's a perfect way to kind of
stand up, stay strong, pay with cash. Mean what you say and say what you mean. And we are happy to see you here Wednesday. To anybody I didn't get to say hi to who came in late, hello. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday. Papadon, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
I would like to come back. Yeah, anytime you guys want me to come on, let me know. If I can make it, I'll definitely do it.
You know what? Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I like the way we all conversated or conversed here. I would love, Papadon, if you could be like a regular jump in every once in a while.
Yeah, like a BRV.
Yeah, you know, or like a Colin. You know, just jump in whenever the fuck you want to, whenever you have an itch to talk about it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Off air, a lot of people believe that me and Pop have heat, but I love this man. I think he's one of the most entertaining.
Like I said, I'm a worker, brother. I know how to work the crowd.
People are so silly. But Papadon, where can they find you on social media, man? And you have any shows that you're gonna be working anytime soon?
Sure. Let's see. On Facebook is Dimitrios Papadon. On Twitter and Instagram, it's at Greek God Papadon. The YouTube channel at Greek God Papadon. Subscribe, like, notification bell, comment, all that. Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek God Papadon. Go get your GGP t-shirts. You can catch the New Force Order podcast, which is the Star Wars podcast, with myself, Alex Arroyo, and Spiro when he comes on.
Whenever.
It's at NFL @NFL_ podcast on Twitter, New Force Order on Instagram, official New Force Order on Facebook. Catch Conspiracy Horseman whenever we do a podcast. It's been very rare and scarce in between, but there's rumors afoot, and there's talks that GGP may start his own conspiracy podcast.
Who knows?
And who knows? Who knows? It may happen. But this August 19th and August 26th, I'll be at NYWC, NYWCWrestling.com for tickets and info. I'll be smacking somebody around and stealing the show, and not NOT slapping my leg like a jabroni.
There you go. And before we leave, I just want to say happy birthday to Winona. Winona's one of our originals. She started here with us from day one. She has been with the show. Winona, we hope you have a very happy birthday, and happy birthday to you, and many, many more. Thank you for being such an important part of the A Show. Thank you for being with us for the ride. Thank you for helping to build us up. We love you, Winona. Have a great, great week. Spend your birthday treating yourself well all week and eat something yummy. So happy birthday.
And I also want to wish you a very, very happy birthday, Winona. One of my very favorite people, man.
Yes.
Not only on this show, but just, on social media and everything, man. You are fucking awesome. We love you to death. And we love you all. We love you guys. We just fucking love you all. Papadon, he may act like he doesn't love you, but he fucking loves you. Inside his black heart, there's a little diamond in there. It's being formed, and it's very small, but it's still very valuable. So there's love there.
That's what I tell my wife.
That's what she said. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week for
All
another
right,
episode.
thank you.
Papadon, don't
Mwah.
go anywhere.
All
For
right.
another episode of the A Show. Yes.
Woo! Thanks, you guys. Joni Man.
Yeah.
What knockers?
Big ass titties.